Hi everybody, it's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie, and today I'm going to give you tons of ideas that you can use for your journaling and junk journaling. I'm also going to show you some things that I use for my junk journal, and so just stay tuned for that. Now, before we get started, I always like to ask that or suggest that if you love videos like this, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button below and also hit the notification button so you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. And then please leave a comment because I would love to know what's your favorite part of this journal that I'm about to show you. So let's go ahead and dig into this. So I just wanted to show you that I always keep out kind of a bowl of the washies that I'm going to be using in my journal. So I don't use just any kind of washies inside of here. I like to use kind of like florally type of washies in the journal. So I just keep those all in the bowl because even though I have many washi tapes, I don't have very many florals, so I'm working on getting more of those. So I like to keep those on hand on my desk. Also, when I'm writing inside of my junk journal, I usually use a Pilot G2 pen on the pages that I know will bleed through, and for the ones that don't, I use my Sharpie pens. Now I have my Sharpies in this old recyclable container, which was a crystal-like container, and it holds these very well. I love these containers because you can see through them. And I'm using my Sharpie pens that I've had for a long time, and I bought them when I first started planning for my planners, but I found that they bleed through on the pages of the planner, so I haven't been using them a lot, but they work out just perfectly for the journal. So, and I have all the different colors, which is really nice. So I would definitely suggest that you use those. Now here's the journal itself, and if you've seen the past videos, you would have seen when I first made this journal, and I'm very proud of it. The cover is covered with a magazine cover that I got from the library. You can see where it says library on there. If I turn it, it says library, and I just have some washi tape on here. Now, I don't think this cover is completely done just yet. I think there's a few things I would still like to do to it, but for now, this is where it's at. So I just wanted to really just give you an update because this journal is not finished, but it is really fat. It has 4 signatures in it, so you can see the signatures here on the side here. And if I would have done anything differently, then I definitely would have just put maybe 3 signatures in here. Now I'm almost done with the decorations, but there's lots of journaling to be done here. And so I wanted to kind of be able to keep this closed. So I just put like I took a aw and I stuck a hole in the front cover and a hole in the back cover, and I just put some ribbon inside of it and tied it off, and that kind of keeps it closed. Now I don't have anything loose inside of here that's going to fall out, which is really nice, but I still like having the closure in here because as soon as I take off the or undo the ribbon, it just kind of just it flops open, and I like that. Now I also wanted to point out that I've made tabs on here, so turn it this way so you can see the tabs I have on here, and I use lots of scraps, and I'm going to go through that also as well. But I like how the tabs kind of stick out, and they're not like tabs, they're not your traditional tabs where you would actually just be marking off what's on those pages. I just like the way the tabs look. So let's go ahead and open this up now. And one other thing that I really love about this is just the feel of the papers and the textures that I have in here, which is amazing. I have like some enamel dots here, and I love just running my fingers over them. And then we have threads and just the 3D effect of the papers being layered onto each other. And it's just, I just love opening this book up and kind of just feeling things through. Now, this is a pocket here in the front, and I made that pocket with a Project Life card. So I'm going to be pointing out some of the materials that I use because you can use these in your junk journal as well. And it may be some things that you haven't thought about. And of course, pictures from a magazine, that's kind of a given. And I had some tags that I just kind of went through all of my crafting stock to try to figure out what I could use. I had some ephemera, I had like some twine that I got from the dollar store. Of course, I had washi tape, and this right here is actually an envelope, and this is the envelope here. And if you open the envelope, if you reach in here, you'll see that there is a pocket. So there's lots of pockets and tuck spots and tip ins, and I didn't even know what a tip in was. And basically, this is a tip in, so it's a card that tips basically. So that's a tip in, and I just use a Project Life card here, and then I have some journaling cards, and I wrote some journaling, and I just put some lines in there because I like the way that look is, and it just kind of tips up as well. And then when we go to this next page here, now I'm not going to go over every single little piece, but I do want to point out some things. And this right here is like a picture of a seed card, and I have these as digital papers in my Etsy shop if you would like to have access to those. So I'll be pointing out the items that are in the Etsy shop as well. And then these are just post-it note cards, not post-it note cards, but post-it notes. And I just glue the post-it notes onto the pages, and it's like a series of them. And I just use my markers, and I went to town on these. And then over here is just a piece of ephemera on some scrap vellum. And so you can use different types of papers as well. This is cardstock here. And then I just printed this out on a piece of paper. It's a tag. And I took some of my some scrap ribbon and added that on here as well. And you can see the back of this is a pocket that I made from a digital papers also. And then I added pictures throughout, so you'll see lots of pictures. And I wanted some of the pages to kind of have a roughness to it, so instead of cutting the pages, I actually just kind of just tore the pages, and I like that look as well. Now this is a very eclectic look. When I made this book at first, I decided that I was just going to use this kind of as a learning tool when it came to doing the junk journaling, and so I didn't really have a theme or anything, but I do like the vintagey feel of the junk journals, so I wanted to add some pieces of that in here as well. And so I have this little picture here from the dunes in Indiana, and I have some enamel dots, and I just have like several pictures, and this picture right here is from an old newspaper, and this is part of the digital papers on my Etsy shop as well. I have a doily here, and I made a tip-in card with a photo and a journaling card, and it's all just resting on some cardstock that I had. And this is another piece from the digital papers from the Etsy shop as well, and you can see I've started doing lots of journaling in here, and this is a tip-in card, and so I can do some journaling here also, and this is from the Etsy shop as well, kind of like a big badge. And I added some pictures and journaling also. Here's another pocket. So I know I'm getting a little wordy, so I'm just going to start flipping through here. Here we have a little pocket here that you can put something in, and it's also kind of like one of these kind of pockets that goes all the way through. So for some of these, I just kind of put something in here just so I know that there is a pocket in here. And then this picture right here is from the shop as well, and I made like a pocket to go in here. And then this is a comic strip that my mom gave me, and I just have that layered on top of a journaling card. I had a large journaling card, and I kind of just ripped it up just to give it a nice edge to it. So that's something you could do. A very good technique is ripping the sides of the pages. Here's another one of those seed packets from the shop, and this is a pocket. And this, I made this pocket with a journaling card, and I have a piece of cardstock back here that I can journal on as well. So there's lots of places for me to journal, so it'll take me a little bit of time to get that finished. And then see, I have some here. This page is officially pretty much finished. I have some ephemera here that I use and different items on this page. And I really like using colorful magazine pages because they actually add a nice layer and texture to the pages also. And this came from the digital seed packet pages. And this page, I'm saying this is officially done because I love, love, love the way this came out. And this came from a magazine as well. 2 pictures from a magazine. I love the colors. And then this is my friend here. And I have that on the back of a journaling card with lots of washi tapes going on. And we have a little enamel dot there on the tag that I made. And then we have a pocket here. And if we go here, this is a tip-in card. I have some photos here, and I've already journaled on the back of that tip-in card, and it actually has a pocket. And then if we go, we have this was some cardstock, and I did some stamping on here. And you don't have to worry if you make a mistake with your stamps, because I made a mistake and I put a B here instead of a D, and I just took a piece of magazine and put a D to cover that up. So nobody's going to know that but us. Okay, and then you can also use note pages from the dollar store. So the notepads that you have from the dollar store, like this one per se, you can actually just rip this out. You can write on it and then glue it down. So that's what I did, as I used several note pages in here. And then this page right here is actually the back of a calendar. This is a digital page from the shop. And then I made a pocket here. And I have a pocket inside of here. And my father just passed away, so these 2 pages are all kind of dedicated to him and things throughout here. So I also have some more info on him here, and I'll just add some there. And these are part of the digital pages as well. And this is just a Project Life card with some washi tape on here. So this one is a very colorful page, and I really love this page. This is another one of the seed packets from the digital pages there, and then I have a large card. And you can see behind the card here, this is just a magazine. It just has some wonderful colors, and I didn't want to cover it up. And so I only just kind of covered it up just a little bit, but you can see the colors are peeking through the back. So that's a great idea. If you don't want to use any of your clean paper, you don't have to. You can just use magazines and just scrap papers that you may have. This here is a pocket, and we have a doily here on the side, and I did some stamping on here, a little bit of testing, and it just gave it a very nice effect. And here, this was a scrap piece, and I have a heart punch, and I was punching out some hearts here, and I kept this because I'm a hoarder when it comes to the crafting stuff. And just think about it, everything that's inside of this journal would have been trash, and I kept it and made it into something really beautiful. Now I did make this clip here just out of some flowers. It was very inexpensive. And then I have a tip-in card. I'll probably put a photo in here. And then this is like a little envelope here from the Smash book, and I'll just close this up with paper clips. So you can use paper clips also. You can use regular paper clips, and they will work just fine. And then here on this page on the back, we have a digital paper. And this little page right here was from the magazine, the bottom of this magazine. And I kept it, and I used it, and I just punched out my favorite butterfly, and I had a butterfly tag also. So you can use that to journal on. It has a little pocket. And then here we have a pocket here. And we have a pocket here. I don't have anything in here just yet. And then here's another one of the seed cards. And then this is a flip up card, so I'll be writing something in there. That's the first flip up card that I made. And this was just plain cardstock, and then I just used the stamp and stamped on top of it, and it came out very beautiful. And I'm not going to put anything on this paper, and this is one of the pages from the calendar that I had. Now this page I had prepared to paint, and then I decided not to do any more painting in here. And so what I'm going to do is I have another notepad, and I believe I'm going to use this one. So I actually left it loose on purpose, because then I can take it and I can write on it and then glue it inside, because it's just easier to do it that way, because this is like really bulky now. And then on this side I have a little bit of a tip-in card here with a photo, and so I'll probably put a card here to write about that as well. This is an unfinished page. I'm not going to use this page raw like this. So on the back, this page is pretty much finished. I have one more picture that I'd like to put here, and you can see this goes all the way across the bottom. This came from a calendar, and this is another note card, so a note page, and I'm going to use this note page, but I left it loose so that I can write on it, and then I'll cut it so that this can still show at the bottom, and I can put my journaling in here. Then we have some packaging, and I have packaging over on this side, and then this badge here is from the shop as well. And then I have a picture of my cousins in here, and I'm going to journalize about them, and I left this blank, but this is a page that I'm going to use, and then I'll fix this to the page itself. And then on this page, this was a calendar page in the back, and I made a tuck spot with a piece of doily, and this is another badge, and I kind of cut the chicken's head off on here, but it was no big deal for me, so I just kept it anyway. And then in the inside I have a Project Life card to journal on. And then we have some packaging on this side, and we have another digital page here, and this is just a piece of the digital page. It's a full page, and I cut it down to kind of fit my needs, so I could actually cut the pictures out if I wanted to. Now I will say that I tried to make some digital pages that kind of fit the African American lifestyle during that time, because I tried to find some and I couldn't. And although I love vintage papers, it just does not reflect African American images for that time. So I decided to make some, and those are up in the shop as well. And so here I did some stamping on the back of this because I didn't want to cut this page off. I just made it kind of a tip in, and I stamped on the back to make it pretty. And then on this side, here's another kind of tag or badge from the shop as well, because I love butterflies and I love that vintage feel. And I just punched a hole in it, added some twine or thread, and it kind of makes a tab. So if you look here, see that? See if you can see it, because I know there's a lot going on here. So here's the tab right here. So I purposefully left things sticking out to make tabs. And then we just have, these pages are not complete just yet. And then I have another page from a notepad. This is so beautiful. I think I'm going to probably use more of this notepad, of course, and I'm going to glue this on here once I write something in here. Now this is actually an envelope, and I actually have my father's obituary inside, so I put it inside and I taped it up, and it's just a keepsake for anybody that finds this. They can look at all these little pockets and tuck spots and everything, and they can kind of see what was going on during my life, because that's kind of fun when you look through people's things after they're gone, to kind of, try to put things together and get to know them better. So here's another note page from one of my notepads, because I have tons of them. So I just went through and I just took a few out and I just tucked them all in here for where I'm going to use them. Now here's another magazine page, and you see it has lots of beautiful colors, and I will be hiding some of it, but most of that color will be peeking through, and I like the look of that. And then on this side I have a photo. This is actually some seashells from the beach, and I layered it with some cardstock also. And I had a tab here. I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything to it or not, and these two act as little tabs at the end. And then this is another Project Life card that I had, and this was the first pocket that I made, so I made it really small, and I just kind of have these papers in here so I know that this is a pocket, but I can't put like a really big piece of paper in there because that pocket is really tiny. And then we have just some beautiful tags that would have been thrown in the trash, so I'm glad I kept those. And then this page, I love this page. It is so beautiful, and it came from a magazine. I don't even know what magazine it was in, but when I saw it, I said, this has to go into my book. And I made it into a pocket, so you can see I use that technique of ripping the page, and I like the way that looks, and I just put a Project Life card inside there. Now with the Project Life cards, you don't have to go out and buy Project Life cards. What you can do is you can actually buy cardstock, or use some of the cardstock that you have that doesn't have anything on the back, and you can just cut your cards down to the size that you want. And that's what I did for some of these. So not all of them are Project Life cards. Okay, so on this side, this is a picture of me at the winery, and I did it in black and white because this page was black and white. So these are just all these little pieces here. All these little pieces here, these are just washi tapes, different types of black and white washi tapes that I had. And then I took some gesso and went over the top of it because I was going to try to do a painting technique, and then I decided I just like the way it looked, the way it was. So I left it that way, and I put my picture over the top of it. And I just put a Project Life card on here, and then this is the back of the calendar. And then I went to a candy factory when I was on vacation this year, and so I had like the bag that it's called Abenese Candy Factory, and I used the bag here to kind of cover things up. But then I had a magazine that had a little bit about the candy factory, and I made that into a pocket. And I used one of my dollar store notepads here, and I'll be journalizing about that, maybe sticking something in the pocket from the vacation. And then on this side, this is another digital page that I made. This is actually one of my uncles, and I knew him. And of course, these pictures were done way back when probably like in the 20s or the 30s. And I remember my uncle very well, and he used to tickle me all the time. It was kind of crazy. Of course, he was older back then. And I just put a saying on the side that says, I have nothing special to offer except my capacity to love. And I love that saying. And then on the side here, I have just some journaling on the side, and down the middle here, I use some washi tape. I made this into a pocket, so you can see I have some pockets for journaling here. When you turn it over here, I've been doing some cooking, and I wanted to do a little bit of journaling about that, so I put in a bay leaf. So this bay leaf would ordinarily, it would go into the trash. Decided I was going to try to add it in, so I just took a little bit of glue and put it in. But there is a picture on this side, and I didn't want the picture to get ruined because I think there might be a little bit of oil left on there. So I just took a piece of that bag from the candy factory and I just stuck it in here for now. But what I'll probably do is tape it in here as kind of a tip in, and that way they won't affect each other. So you can keep that in mind. You could just use wax paper if you wanted to, but I was like, why take out brand new wax paper when I could just use a piece of that cellophane bag that I have. Of course, I'm not throwing it in the trash. And then I have a picture over here of me practicing my handwriting, so some journaling will be coming up here. And this is just some washi tape, and I love that washi tape because I'm loving flamingos right now. And I made some little envelopes from a calendar that I had, and I just put a Project Life card in there. And on this side is from a cup of soup and a cup of soup package, and I love the way it looked. And this was from some earrings that I was given, and so I just left that there. And you can see I have like these nice tabs on the side here, and I love the way these tabs came out. This is a butterfly, and this again came from the same magazine that the cover came from. And then I used like some vintage paper on the side here, and these came from a notepad. I had cut these off to use in my planner, and I kept them, and I decided to use them in here also, so they came out really pretty. And then we have a little bit of junk here from the Russell Stouffer store, because I have one in my area, and I love going there on the holidays, and I decided to just kind of put some bits and bobs on the pages as well. So this page is not a finished page, but this is the first page that I finished, and it is kind of wacky, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was great for testing and everything, but you know what? I like all of my pages. And this one was a mixed media page. It was kind of a fail. There's actually a picture on here, and you would never be able to see it even if I tried to show it to you because it's that muddled, but I'm going to do a little bit more journaling on here as well. And then we have the back of the calendar, and this is a Post-it note, but I think I may change this out because it doesn't really fit the theme. And this is a piece of vellum, and I love the way this feels. It came out crinkly because on this side I used some glue to put down a doily, and then I actually used glue to put down these little kind of scallop circles that I made with a punch that I had, and it made this paper like really crinkly, and I love the way it feels. And I think I may leave this page as is. And then on this side I have a Project Life card, and I love the Project Life card the way that it was, so I just folded it, made it into a tip-in, and I just kind of glued some items on the side here. This was kind of a test piece for my brother's Scan and Cut, and I kind of stamped this and I colored it and I cut it with a Scan and Cut, and I kept it because I was like, I'm not throwing that away. And then I also have tiny words all throughout here, so you've probably seen some already on the pictures. And this is another kind of flip up card, and this is a picture of my mother, and I'm going to be journaling throughout in here as well. And I let this hang over the side, which you can do. I love this technique, and it makes a tab on the page also. So on this side is just a digital paper, and then of course we have the washi, and then I have an envelope that came from my birthday card from this year, and if you flip it over, now we have like a little bit of a pocket here on the inside that you can put something in, and have a picture and a place for journaling also. On this side, this was one of the first pages, I believe, to be completed. This is a complete page, and I know it's kind of simple from what you've seen here. And it's just, this is an envelope, a piece of an old envelope. I did some stamping on it. This is the back of this envelope. You can see I just glued it on. And I love the butterfly, so I wanted them to show. And then this is just a tag from a vegan purse that my mother gave me. So I may add some journaling about this. And also on this side, this was just a cluster of things I decided to put on the page, and I love the way it looked. And I have a picture here, and I'll be doing some journaling over here on this side for this. And this is on a piece of vellum. And again, I had some scrap from a Project Life card that I cut, and I just made a tab out of it. So I have tabs like that all throughout. It's just like trash. And so you can make your tabs out of the trash that you have. I don't even know if I could qualify it as trash anymore. It's just beautiful small pieces now. And then over here, this was an envelope as well, you can see, and I just used that envelope as kind of a backing. I have a Project Life card and a journal card kind of layered together with some washi tape and some stamps I was testing on here, and I like the looks, so I kept it. And this is a pocket, and I just have a Project Life card, and I can put something in there. And then I have some of my beautiful children's in here with some tiny words, and I put this on the back of a digital paper, and I love the way this looks. These kids are so cute. Y'all have no idea. I love them so much. And then this side, I was preparing for paint, but I'm not going to use it for paint. So these pages are basically not done yet. I did put some tags here, and also on my brother's Scan and Cut, I made an edge for this. So I'm definitely going to keep this, but I still have lots to do on these pages here. And then I have kind of a pocket. You can see it goes all the way through. And then I have a card that I started journaling on as well. And this is the back of a calendar, and this was the first paint job that I put in here, and I really love the way it came out, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I just started putting things in and started coming together. So I have some tags here, and this is from a magazine. I did some stamping. I have a little bit of washi tape, I have some ephemera, and then I have some pictures that I took, and I'm going to do some journaling over here on this side. So next, I have the back of that calendar, and I put some pictures on here, and I have like some little pieces of, or not little pieces, but some florals in here, and I kind of did a little bit of fussy cutting on them, and I stuck them in. I'm probably going to put some more in here so it looks like a bouquet sticking out. I know it's hard to see because there's a lot going on this page, but I love this page. And these pictures came from a winery that I went to, and this is the winery here, and this is the inside. You know, you can walk through the tasting and circle the things that you like. And this page came from the digital pages from my shop, and I have like a little bit of a journaling card there. And then here is my actual birthday card from this year. I showed you the envelope, and I made a pocket out of it here. And then I have a comic strip for my mom with some journaling on the back. And I fixed an additional journaling card in here as well. And then if you look here, this came from the shop as well. And I really liked the way it looked, and I thought it was like an appropriate spot to put it, so I put it there. And then we have some blank pages still here. This is actually a photo, so I'll be doing some journaling down here. And I may leave this page the way it is because I love the zigzag decorations. And then here, this page is pretty much finished, and I love, love, love the way it came out. These pieces right here came from my shop, and then I took like a photo of some items that I had, some old items, and then I have a pocket here, so you can put this down here like this, or in here you can put it like that and close it up if you wanted to. And I just made that out of the calendar, and I put washi tape in there, and you can fold it and close it and tape it down if you wanted to. When I say you, I mean this is for me, but if you did something like that, then that's what you could do. And then I just put like a digital paper here, and there's a journaling card. And in the back, this was some packaging. I don't even know what it came off of, but I made a pocket out of it, and I stuck 2 tabs and a tag that I got off of, I think some blue jeans. And I just stuck that down in there. And then, so that is the back of this. And you can see this came out again. It's like very chunky, which I love. It's still not finished, but it has so much character, and I love it. So if this is something that you would like to do as well, then I definitely say go for it, because I love, love, love my junk journal. I just like flipping through the pages again. I like just feeling the textures that are inside of it. I love just looking at it and flipping through the cards in here. So I would love to know, what is your favorite part of this journal? What type of technique would you be using in your particular journal itself? So if you love videos like this, again, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and also leave a comment. And I would love to know what you think. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.